It's Wednesday, hump day. You got out of the office, maybe out of school. Why are you still in school? It's the summertime. Take a relax. Sit back and watch CRL West instead of working so hard. Hi, I'm Rich Slayton. Joining me is Andrew Guy. It's our Wednesday edition of Clash Royale League, and we have 3 matches coming your way where we have the 3 teams at the bottom trying to stay somewhere in contention and 3 teams in the middle trying to fight to catch up to those in the lead.
Yeah, and a big part of why these teams have ended up where they are is our league format. We're going to start it off as we always do with the 2v2 set, a best of 3, the teamwork center of Clash Royale. Now after that is a best of 5 King of the Hill set. Each team gets 3 players. Each player has 1 life. And lastly, if necessary, set number 3, the 1v1 tiebreaker set, where a lot of people have proven exactly why they belong here at CRL.
And we are getting closer and closer to the end of our season, and more importantly, closer and closer to the World Cyber Games in Xi'an, China this July, where the top 3 squads from CRL West will go and face off against the best 3 from CRL Asia and CRL China. Book your flights now. They're going to get very, very expensive. And of course, let's look at our standings to see who is currently in the mix for that shot at going across the sea. So
complexity, they're 7-1 at the top, very near clinching, but if they were to lose out, they would miss playoffs. SK Gaming and Pain Gaming tied at 5-3. Fnatic 4-3. Team Queso in 5th place at 4-4. Right behind them are 2 more teams at 4-4 in Immortals and Cream Esports. 8th and 9th place, we have Tribe Gaming and Team Liquid at 3-4. And lastly, 3 teams at 2-5, Misfits, Energy, Dignitas, all looking to ruin hopes of other teams making it to that top 6.
So a winning record still possible for our bottom 3 teams, but the only way that happens is if you get a win today, and then after, and then after. So very important. And we start off our day with Energy facing off against Team Liquid.
After that, Team Fnatic looking to bounce back against Dignitas, and to close out our Wednesday, Misfits going up against Tribe.
So we open with Team Liquid facing off against Energy. Energy still with just 3 players trying to find their footing. Team Liquid on the bubble right now. This could be a deciding game to see where they fall, especially with that snake or that gauntlet style playoffs. Very, very important for them. So this is a big matchup. Let's open our show with Energy versus Team Liquid, and we welcome them right now into the OGN Super Arena.
So as we make our way down to the stage, both of these teams coming off the end of their losing streak. We have Energy that just got off a 4-game losing streak, taking down number 2 Pain. And on the other side of that, we've got Liquid ending their 3-game losing streak, taking down number 4 Fnatic.
You know, we've said this a lot, Andrew, but it does feel like a must-win for both these squads, although both squads currently riding high off of their most recent performances. Of course, what we saw last time out from Energy looked fantastic. Thunderstruck with a big King of the Hill performance, and of course, Hazard and Carter, the 2v2 specialists for their squad.
Yeah, and on the other side of that, we've got our red team today, Team Liquid, a team of superstars, Canario, Surgical Goblin, Diego B, and let's not forget Buffmac. Both of these teams need to get to playoffs, and the thing is that Liquid can still get to 7. Energy can only get 6 wins to end their season, so we'll have to see if that'll be enough to make it to that top 6. So Hazard and Carter, one of the few duos out there that have taken down Henan Kava and Surge TS in their last match, feeling very good about themselves. And of course, on the other side, Canario and Surgical just took down Javi Catorce and Faye.
Yeah, that was a great performance for Team Liquid all the way around, walking away with a very important win that keeps them in the running for those top 6.
And both these teams come out of the gates swinging. A Dark Goblin and Miner on one side, and then you see a Miner and a Baby Dragon, and a whole bunch of other stuff on the other.
Dark Goblin has really popped up a lot more in the last week or 2.
Yeah, I think it's because it has such a great defensive utility against the Graveyard, which has been so popular recently. But, you know, as we saw earlier with, I guess, was it last weekend, where Immortals was playing that log bait deck, it just, if you have too many log bait capabilities, your deck just doesn't actually ever fire on all cylinders. And a great rocket from Surgical and Canario.
Yeah, that was kind of where you want to put a rocket, huh?
And look at that, the predictive fireball catches the Dark Prince's shield, so not paying off the way Carter and Hazard had anticipated.
Yeah, that is such an important part of the Dark Prince's utility, is the ability to absorb a big spell shot from that shield.
Yeah, so both teams here pretty even in Elixir. A lot of predictive spells being thrown down that are not landing. Oh!
That was the right idea, the snowball tornado combination that we've seen so much this season, but Miner just not lasting long enough to get that all-important hit.
And despite not getting the NATO, not having that fireball hurt the Dark Prince, but just take care of his shield, Carter and Hazard are still doing a great job with their Elixir management and and are staying in the lead.
Just barely. Dark Goblin coming in, might steal a couple of shots. Yes, it does. And you see dropping both the Mega Minion and the Dark Prince on that Dark Goblin. So, but just a reactive play, maybe adding more onto the board than they wanted to.
Yeah, and at this point, as we've seen more and more Dark Goblins come into play, maybe it becomes a thing where teams start to be like, okay, anytime a Dark Goblin's played, it's your responsibility, because it happens so quickly, not a lot of time for communication there.
And that was just a rough sequence for Energy all the way around. He used the NATO to somewhat ineffectively pull the Miner off tower, and second Miner on the inside and tower down.
So we go Miner and guards in the right-hand lane. Only a log to come down. There's the NATO, still keeping that tower alive.
And now Liquid just pouring it on with the rocket cycle.
And you see this kind of became popular with Immortals in week 2 or 1, and now Team Liquid just playing it to perfection.
Well, Spell Cycle and Rocket Cycle in particular dominated the first season of CRL China, and there was a big question as whether that would be as dominant in CRL EU and North America last season. It didn't end up happening, but you're seeing the value here.
Oh, and just a straight naked rocket from Energy, so Liquid will respond with one of their own. And there it is again, the double drop to defend against the Dark Goblin.
Yeah, now Miner into the back, nothing there to pick up the Miner, so Energy trying to play catch-up, but just one step behind Team Liquid at every corner.
Yeah, now a rocket plus any spell will take that tower down.
Spell number 1 in, and nice skeletons to pick up the giant skeleton with the tornado combination.
And there you go.
GG's, Team Liquid takes game number 1.
So many spells flying from blue and from red. Liquid edges out Energy in game number 1.
So gotta wonder if Carter and Hazard have any other variations or tricks up their sleeve. They've taken some big risks this season. Some have paid off, some haven't. But now might be the time to do something no one's seen before.
And then on Liquid's side, you know, that Miner spell cycle deck has been so successful at least a handful of times here, but it's only been played maybe, what, 4 total times, but with varying levels of actually good success, and I love it. It's got so many defensive capabilities in there that it matches up well against a lot of the most popular decks in the 2v2 meta.
So Team Liquid just goes straight double lava, and Energy tries to go opposite lane with a lot of pressure. They do force out the Inferno Tower and get some damage on the target.
Yeah, maybe they can take more advantage of that Inferno Tower being out of play than anything else, but honestly, you look at this push right now being put together, a nice defensive freeze there to keep a few of those units alive to DPS the rest, but you still got a very healthy Mega Minion and a very healthy Baby Dragon.
Very nice tornado play from both sides. You saw the tornado beforehand by Liquid. Looked like it was going to end everything for Energy right then and there, but the freeze followed by the NATO, Snowball, Baby Dragon combination keeps Energy not just in this, but in the lead as we approach the midway point of regulation time. Yeah,
and with that freeze being played, the first thing that probably pops in the mind of Team Liquid is, will we be seeing Graveyard?
I think they're obviously running double hog freeze, Andrew.
Ah, yes, the classic 2v2 destroyer.
Defensive Miner behind the single guard.
There's the Graveyard.
I can't believe I got that wrong.
We were so close to having a perfect start to our day.
So only a couple shots get in, down to 1236 on the left-hand side, and This lava fairly unsupported.
Yeah, so much of the elixir in Team Liquid's hand was spent on defense, which Graveyard can do a great job of providing defense on a big push by creating pressure in the opposite lane.
And now Energy with a slight but important elixir lead as we enter into double elixir time.
Yeah, elixir and damage leads. They're going to keep up the pressure. Graveyard coming in. If they can keep the rotation going on and keep having Liquid make mistakes, that is the way to do it.
And there comes the freeze.
Look at that.
And Baby Dragon Dark Prince will get on tower, so tower down. Carter and Hazard, 35 seconds left, just need to defend clean on the right-hand lane. They should have game number 2.
Yeah, ignore the Dark Prince in the left, ignore the Baby Dragon in the left, and just go all in on defense on the right. And look at that. Energy's Carter and Hazard bouncing back in game number 2.
And that's some really, really excellent patience to, as you said, ignore both the Dark Prince and the Baby Dragon on that left-hand side. And you can see the frustration on the face of Canario and Surgical Goblin as we head into game number 3.
Yeah, you see Canario kind of looking over and shaking his head at his opponents. Maybe something they saw in that game that they really did not like.
So very well played by Carter and Hazard in game number 2. So here we go, the third and final, potentially final, game of this opening set.
Yeah, if we do get a draw, we'll move into game number 4, but I think both these teams wanting to go for blood early on, get that big time momentum moving into King of the Hill. And Carter and Hazard, with only 3 players on their roster, the third obviously being Thunderstruck, puts them in pigeonholes them in King of the Hill, whereas if they had their other 2 players, Pedro and Lich Pentakill, it would really open some doors for them.
Yeah, create some versatility and maybe also take some pressure off. Who knows? Maybe we'd see Pedro and Lich together in 2v2. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be crazy.
You think about that, like, why would you go away from Carter and Hazard? Well, they've had some rough moments here and there, and look what changing things up has done to Liquid. We assumed that it was going to be both Mac and Diego B all season for Team Liquid. For sure. And they've suddenly found that Surge and Canario work so well together. Yeah,
and just to keep on that train, what about Azealis and Bennyhu? We thought Kuchi and Benny were as good as Team Queso was ever going to get. I think they thought it was as good as they were going to get. And now all of a sudden, Azealis is the only perfect player in 2v2 with a good amount of sets under his belt.
In the same vein, what about peanut butter and honey? People thought it'd be jelly forever, but then you try honey one time and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer.
That I think is maybe the best point you've made in 2 seasons with me, Rich.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty up there. First half of play down and some minor control play from Team Liquid. A little bit behind, though, against the double Graveyard of Energy.
Energy doing a great job of keeping that Graveyard rotation up, and there's another one coming in. Nice King Tower activation. That was a very efficient nado played by Carter and Hazard. They've had some nado woes as of late.
In double elixir time, Carter and Hazard trying to turn up the pace a little bit. Freeze comes in, but the poison is going to do a decent job of keeping most of that damage off tower.
Yeah, the freeze there, obviously to help those skellies out and to assist in destroying those bats, but poison does a lot of work.
Pressure on. Both teams really low on Elixir. You can see a lot of sellout happening right now.
And one of those skellies activating the King Tower, which is a really, really fortunate coincidence for Team Liquid's Surgical and Canario. Under the back, not picked up. You see a Dark Prince and a Giant Skeleton getting dropped on top of that Dark Prince of Team Liquid, making sure that it does not get any splash damage on their tower.
And one guard almost sneaks away, but gets taken down by the Princess Tower. Minor in picked up by the Ice Wiz.
There we go. Now we got something to tank for it this time. 2 poisons come down. 1 blue, 1 red.
And you see that Energy has to now also put the freeze on the King Tower. So that does limit some of their options as we go into the final 2:30 in overtime, although at 3:13 in a good spot.
That was huge. That might do it.
And Dark Prince does not quite connect.
very, very close. A very nice last-ditch effort there by Team Liquid, but they just need to get down. A poison, a log, a freeze, there you go, or a snowball.
Not going to be enough in time for Team Liquid to catch up. Down to 34, one more tick needed.
Just need that log to drop, there it is.
And Energy takes the game. You can see the frustration on the face of Canario and Surgical Goblin talking over to Hazard and Carter, but we are headed into our King of the Hill set.
Coming out against Canario, Carter followed by Hazard and then Thunderstruck. Canario followed with Surgical Goblin and Diego B, so I think Canario and Surgical want some revenge after that 2v2 set. Again, you saw the high tensions at the end of that last game.
So we'll see what Carter does, currently sitting 3 and 7 overall in King of the Hill. Miner, oh, here we go. Goblin Giant.
Yep. Aggressive Goblin Giant. Minions will go down with that NATO. And a very, very clean defense on the right. But take a look at the left.
And this RG Miner deck has been very popular. It's been popping up a whole lot lately.
Guards in to help take down the RG. RG does give Carter the lead.
At this stage, Royal Giant really has two constructions. Either you're going some variation of RG Furnace or you're going RG Ice Wiz. That's the two ways it goes.
And despite having a massive elixir deficit, Canario decides to go all in on the right-hand lane. Or excuse me, Carter decides to go all in on the right-hand lane with the Miner. Canario opting to switch and put down a Sparky.
Goblin Giant Sparky, as we've talked about quite a bit, is performing very, very well this season. Overall, as an archetype, nearly 67%.
Ooh, and that fireball misses one minion, and that is a big miss. And look at Carter, he knows it's already over.
Oh boy, Canario throwing out a little bit of BM there.
Yeah, and you know what? You can tell that Canario has a lot left to say after that 2v2 set.
You see him working furiously to get as many emotes out as possible.
And Carter not having it. So I'll be very, very curious to see what happens the next time that these two men find themselves facing each other on the battlefield.
RG aggressive, trying to get a few shots in before it goes down. Sparky takes care of it.
And it's just pouring it on is Canario. Now improving his King of the Hill record to 3 and 4.
And he is just going all in. He really wants to make a statement right now.
And that time, Sparky does go down, but the tower will fall as well. 151 HP remaining. You know Canario has a lightning.
Yeah, even though he should play defense, I imagine that Canario is going to want to finish that tower off just to put a cap on this one.
Yep. Oh, fireball. I was going to say with Zap, it actually might be something cheaper, because usually you see a different combination, and you see the side eye from Carter going, all right, you proud of yourself, man?
Big win for Canario. Team Liquid takes the first game of King of the Hill, and coming up next for Energy, it's going to be Hazard trying to take out the Spaniard.
So Hazard up on the tower now, trying to redeem his brother, who has just fallen to Canario.
So opening Furnace for Hazard, an immediate Lava Hound from Canario. Canario has played Lava Miner once this season, taking a loss.
Hazard here, probably playing RG.
This is Hazard's first time playing a Furnace at all this season. And looking more and more like RG Furnace with that E-Wiz down as well.
Oh, and the nice fireball coupled with the fire pups, lava pups, to take out that E-Wiz. And Canario still at it.
Canario playing very, very aggressive to open up. And, oh boy.
Yeah, that is tough. Little dance on the away team tower there by Canario, feeling real good about his matchup.
Yeah, those Barbarians, I mean, there are a few different ways for Royal Giant Furnace to deal with them, but none of them are ideal.
Yeah, the best way is to catch them right behind the RG with a very, very high played Furnace, which we saw very early on this season. And that's one of those things that's become so popular now, that this deck has become so popular that you know Canario won't make that mistake.
Yeah, we'll see if Canario opts to vary up his defense with the Tombstone. Kind of mess with the timing of Hazard if he tries to make that move.
And you see this time Hazard trying to avoid the Fireball and the tower damage, and then obviously the Fireball assisting in the pups, taking it out, and then the E-Wiz goes the wrong way.
And Balloon opposite lane. Hazard, does he have anything for it? It's gonna get a connection.
Wow, a big time connection. Mega Minion and E-Wiz out of cycle. Furnace not wanting to take the brunt of that balloon damage. So both towers pretty low here for Hazard.
And now chooses to go with the Royal Giant opposite lane. The Fire Spirits will help keeping that Royal Giant alive a little bit longer.
You saw the delayed drop on the barbs, knowing that a barb barrel was most likely coming.
And now 2 Furnaces to deal with this Lava Loon push in the right-hand lane.
So this is a moment for Hazard to kind of bring himself back into the game.
Nice way to block for the E-Wiz with the Mega Minion.
Oh, but that balloon is just relentless. It does get to tower.
The Lava Hound pop just gets that balloon what it needs to make it to tower. And Canario takes his second game of King of the Hill, a thumbs up from Hazard. And Canario gives a thumbs up the opposite direction.
Yeah, so now Thunderstruck has to pull off a Team Liquid King of the Hill sweep, taking down Canario, Surgical Goblin, and Diego B if he wants to keep his team alive.
And all that's left for Energy is Thunderstruck.
Yeah, and so Thunderstruck here has to either sweep Team Liquid, or if he does fall in any of those 3 games, he will be the one playing in the 1v1 set. So regardless of how well he does or how poorly he does, he has to stay mentally tough.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of Thunderstruck. Either way this one rolls out, and immediate RG opposite lane, and there are the barbs.
Yep. Wow, and the good game call early on. I don't really love that. I think that I understand the matchup is rough, but there's a lot of gameplay to be had, a lot of mistakes to be had, and now it's good game. You see the Goblin Hut in the back, a balloon being dropped at the exact same time, and there's just nothing there to catch it. So,
very interesting choice with the Goblin Hut there, going all the way behind.
Yeah, it really was, because now it's going to get taken down by some of the death damage of the pups, and you see Lava Hound, and you got to think maybe Lava Loon.
So I went with the Goblin Hut Furnace version of Royal Giant we've seen a few times. But just a rough opening sequence.
Yeah, and we see now that an angry Canario is a very, very scary Canario.
And trying to surround his Royal Giant with the Barbarians, and get rid of the alternative Barbarians. Trying to put pressure into the opposite lane.
So now if I'm Thunder, you don't let this game get to you too much. You think bad matchup, maybe a bad play with the Goblin Hut, definitely get bad play with the Goblin Hut. And think about the 1v1 set, what you need to do to come back.
Well, the question now is who comes out in King of the Hill, because it's going to have to be Diego B or Buffmac, neither of whom has set foot on the stage yet today.
That is very, very true. And Diego B has taken one 1v1 set, took that 2-1 over Mikkel in their most recent match.
So now Thunder has both of his huts down, or both of his buildings down. He has his baby dragon and a nice lightning. So if he can build something behind a Royal Giant, maybe he could take this tower.
And on the other side of it, Buffmac has not won a 1v1 set yet, so most likely going to be Diego B versus Thunderstruck, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, Thunder trying to come back to this game.
He's trying to just load up here, and I like the idea. Throws the barbs. Royal Giant not going to have enough elixir to get that behind.
10 seconds remaining. 1,200 HP. Can Thunder do it? Most likely not, but he's going to try.
valiant effort, but Canario just made some excellent choices. Got a great King of the Hill sweep, and now we are headed to the tiebreaker set 1v1. It will be Thunderstruck against either Diego B or Buffmac. Looks like you called it right, Andrew. It's going to be Thunderstruck for Energy, as we knew, but coming out for Team Liquid, it is going to be Diego B.
Yeah, Diego B, 2-1 in games, 1-0 in sets. Most recently won that set over Mikel, Fnatic, who was currently in 3rd place, but dropped to 4th after that loss.
So some early spell cycle from both players. Gotta wonder if Thunderstruck feels positive about getting a change in opponent after what they just saw from Canario.
Yeah, I would definitely feel good about it, because Canario just seemed to have everyone's number in that last game. So now Diego B going with the tried and true Goblin Giant Sparky. Mega Minion not on those minions.
Fireball does get a little bit of value coming in.
Yeah, nice fireball value there from Diego.
Oh, and it does connect. That's a big connection. You see Thunderstruck very happy.
Yeah,
so Thunderstruck running double Prince.
That one charge could be the change in the entire game.
I wonder what double Prince deck he's running. Probably not a Giant, since we haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, we did see that double Prince Graveyard deck. Which with Baby Drag and Mega Minion, who are both tanky, you think maybe.
Mega Minion high, does not turn towards the Musketeer.
And it will not even take out one of those minions, so a decent amount of damage coming in, or troops coming in for Diego.
And it does not get a connection. Oh boy.
Wow. And he will get one barb swing, but 1233 on his bottom left tower is Thunderstruck.
Yeah, didn't get the connection and then played the barb barrel just a little bit high, so it could not fully take care.
No,
and it's the Goblin Giant double Prince.
So opting to hold till double elixir time, does get one. No, does not get the stab in, even though the animation almost completed. So Diego B playing that perfectly. Prince down, takes a big Sparky shot, and this is danger for Thunderstruck in this moment right here.
Sparky very close.
Yeah, you need more support on that Sparky. Dark Prince's shield doing a lot of work for the Scotsman.
20 seconds left in regulation. Thunderstruck goes high, Goblin Giant opposite lane, trying to get stuff away from that Sparky. A very, very nice lightning.
Very nice lightning. Who knows if he'll wish that he had that on defense now with this Gob Giant Sparky push coming in.
You gotta expect something for this Sparky, and it is the Prince.
Goblin Giant on the tower. That is a big, big connect from the Gob Giant.
Fireball comes in. That is it. Diego B takes game number 1.
So now Liquid on a 4-game streak, surging towards the finish line. Energy just trying to hang on. So Thunderstruck got a couple games there to warm up, but now is the time, if ever, that he needs to step up and take down Diego B for Energy. Diego trying to close the door on Thunder after you saw that 2v2 set fall in Energy's favor.
Diego B has been playing so well in the last few games. Looking very good.
Yeah, it seemed like he was going to be their 2v2 player, as mentioned at the top of this game, this match, but he finds himself now being a better King of the Hill and 1v1 specialist.
Yeah, that last game takes him to 6-5, so positive win rate in head-to-head play this season. And Thunderstruck may be going, hey, you can play Goblin Giant Sparky, well, guess what I can do?
Yeah, if you can't beat him, join him. And a couple Goblin Giants out for both players.
An interesting difference in the way they're going after these two decks. You know, Thunderstruck playing the more common Hunter version, but Diego B going with the Lumberjack Musketeer, which you do not see as much.
Yeah, and that Hunter does a great job in taking down those Goblin Giant, or that Goblin Giant before those Spear Goblins take him out.
So now both players slowing down, letting themselves build up some elixir, and Diego chooses to Sparky first into the right-hand lane.
Okay, here we go.
Halfway through regulation.
And how will they support the Sparky push? Will they just let them... There you go. So a zap for one and a bar barrel for the other. Sparkies will recharge and Thunders prevails.
And Nat gets a Goblin Giant in front of it. So very nice sequence for Thunderstruck. Probably, so he's down to a 0, so he's not getting his Lightning ready to go again yet.
You see the guards coming in right behind to support. A great fireball, but it misses. It misses the Sparky.
Sparky does not get a shot on the tower, but taking out that Musketeer was huge. Now Thunderstruck with a damage and elixir lead.
Yeah, and you saw Diego B kind of take a sigh right there, being like, okay, whew, that wasn't as bad as it could have been, but definitely needs to regroup now and play better defense.
They're taking a big breath as Thunderstruck.
A high hunter. Does take out the Goblin Giant once again.
Zap gets rid of the Sparky. Musketeer does get on tower, left-hand lane.
But so does the Goblin Giant in the right. Mega Minion comes down, so do the minions to support. 16-29 on Thunders, 14-49 on Diego.
Heading into sudden death overtime. Thunderstruck so far has been getting the better of it, but Diego B changing tacks. We'll see if that works out.
Lightning in again.
And good lightning value. Thunderstruck needs to put something there. Goes for the surround with the guards.
Yeah, the last second surround, I think we both got a little nervous for him. And the guards with the Mega Minion, the guard with the 3 minions, take that tower down below the tower that Diego has been working on.
Thunderstruck choosing to instead build up elixir rather than defend that specific push. Zap comes down to reset the Sparky of Thunderstruck.
Just crazy with all these heavy hitting troops on the field. It's 3 minions.
Oh my God!
And look at Diego, he can't even believe it went off himself.
That was crazy. Diego B closes it out in a shocking turn. The Sparky of Thunderstruck had not gotten far enough away from his own tower. That Sparky shot finishes tower, finishes Sparky, and finishes Energy.
Wow. Energy there coming back in the 2v2 set. You could tell how frustrated Liquid was on the floor. And then since the 2v2 set, not a game has been won by Energy and Team Liquid. A big stamp on today.
That was a big, very important win. Team Liquid moves to even at 4-4 with this one. So a critical win for this stacked team and one that keeps them in the hunt for that top 6.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like 7 wins is going to be the magic number. We don't have the stats exactly right now, but Team Liquid could not lose today. Energy most likely out of playoff contention. But again, they've only had 3 players on their roster this entire season. It doesn't matter how good they are. That's always going to cripple you as an organization.
A very, very difficult spot, but very well played by Team Liquid and Diego B making some good calls in this final set. And don't forget the amazing King of the Hill sweep with Canario, who, you know, people wanted to see if he was at the same level this season. So far, looking pretty darn good. Let's go to the floor where Seltzer is standing by with Canario.
Thank you so much, guys. Team Liquid takes it. I'm down here with Canario, who played in the 2v2 and then swept the King of the Hill. I got Coach Eric here as well, but Canario, I gotta ask you, dominating performance in King of the Hill, how'd that feel?
Pues se sienta muy bien ganar todo el King of the Hill, ya que justo después habíamos perdido el 2-2. Y Eric me dijo que confiaba en mí ir primero, que sabía que cuando estoy tilteado juego mejor, que es verdad, y jugué y bien.
So he said it obviously feels really good, and after the 2v2, I spoke with him and he said like that I had all the confidence in the world in him going first because I know that when he's tilted, he plays better. So I knew that he would go and sweep.
Yeah, you came into this with a lot of emotion, I would say. Very interesting to watch you play, very heated up, and very clever deck choices as well. We noticed that you were playing with Barbarians in your Lava Loon deck, and we wanted to know, was that a particular choice against the Royal Giants you were thinking your opponents might bring?
Ella dice que el mazo que lo usaste en la Balloon con Bárbaros, que si fue algo específico para el Gigante Noble o con el matchup que viste contra ellos.
La verdad es que no nos esperamos los nobles, nos esperábamos gigantes o con doble príncipe y demás. Y simplemente me sentía bastante bien con el Lavalun, además es bastante buen deck y simplemente eso.
He said we didn't really expect the Royal Giant, we expected more of like a double Prince Giant, but he feels really good with Lava Loon and the Barbarians give him like an extra safety.
Nice, that flexibility is important. Also important, we saw a little bit of coaching between you two going on during the matches. Would you care to share at all what you guys were discussing?
I just basically, like, we had a rough week last week and kind of reminding the team that just losing one set is not the end of it. We have a bigger picture and a bigger dream, which is to go to China. And if we keep our heads, we're going to win because we're the better team.
Well, thank you both for the insight. Thank you for those very exciting matches. Now let's send it back to the casters and take a closer look at those games.
Thanks a lot, Rachel, and some insight into the importance of coaching, able to get your players refocused and ready after a rough couple of games. And obviously it worked out very well. We saw from Canario, but even bigger maybe was the play of Diego B against Thunderstruck, who had been getting the benefit of playing the Sparky later. It did not work out in this final sequence.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we've heard about how Goblin Giant is just better than Giant Sparky now because of the utility. And right here you see exactly why, or one of the reasons. The Sparky of Thunderstruck focuses on those Spear Goblins and gets held up at his Princess Tower, allowing the splash from Diego's Sparky to connect and destroy. So once again, the Goblin Giant showing why it provides so much utility to that unbeatable deck.
A very exciting ending, but we've got more coming up next. It's going to be Fnatic facing off against Dignitas. Coming up next, Fnatic facing off against Dignitas. Dignitas with a gut-wrenching, a heart-wrenching loss last time out, but hoping to get back in the mix against Fnatic that has, despite their quality roster, shown a few chinks in the armor.
Yeah, and we're wondering if Yarai will be the person to come in and fill out or at least complete their team. You know, keeping Javi and Faye both out of that 1v1 set seems to be detrimental in their success. So maybe we'll see Yarai pop in the 2v2. Maybe we'll switch things up. On the other side of it, you've got Dignitas, who needs to destroy Dreams. That is your goal now if you cannot make playoffs.
So here we go, both squads making their way into the OGN Super Arena. Let's head down to the floor as these guys make the long march to the towers.
Yeah, we got Fnatic in 4th place at 4-3, and then Dignitas at 2-5 in 11th place. Blaze and Javi Catorce lead the charge.
Fnatic now with a quality roster that's been augmented by the late addition of Yarai. But of course, Asuchini, Faye, Javi 14, and Mikel have done a good job keeping the squad in the positive with their win rate so far this season. And a lot of that has been with the sort of breakout season of Mikel jumping into CRL West.
Yeah, Mikel doing great, King of the Hill. Javi Catorce being 9-3, but on the other side of them, you've got Dignitas with the newcomer Blaze, Frost, Oxalate, and of course, Tilted Eddie. You saw in that last match how close Blaze came to victory, but a slight misstep, hoping to bounce back today, rebuild that confidence, and show everyone in the world exactly why he belongs to be on this stage.
This is a big day for both squads. Just to remind you, Fnatic with a chance to really secure themselves near the top of the standings. Dignitas needs this one today to hope on ending the season with a positive win record. And here's a big change. Take a look at this for Fnatic. Faye once again in the 2v2 booth, but joined by Yarai.
Yeah, welcome to CRL, my friend. Let's see how your debut goes. On the other side of it, you see Blaze and Eddie.
So Yarai, as we mentioned last time out, where he didn't get a chance to play, a very well-known player from Spain, top in SLO. Some people say he's top 3 in his native country.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this young man play here at CRL and what that's going to mean for Fnatic moving forward. You know, already in 4th place, doing moderately well with a 4-3 record. Now Javi Catorce is available for that 1v1 set, which is so very important.
Ram Rider does not get there, picked up by a Lumberjack Prince combination.
Inferno Tower played in front of the Princess on the right to take care of the lava. And a raged up Prince takes care of that Ewiz, getting three big lance stabs in, and a wasted log.
Well, no big surprises here. Dignitas running Lava Hound once more with Eddie in the 2v2.
Yep, Eddie loves lava. His favorite win condition out there.
He vacations to Hawaii every other month just to look at lava in real life. I'm pretty sure that's true, even though I made it up.
It's true.
Defensive miner to pick up the Mega Minion just in time to get another Mega Minion down.
Distraction tactic there.
Lightning not going to do very much, leaving all those troops still alive, so not going to help out the Mega Minion.
They do have no counter push potential, but still Fnatic in a massive deficit to Eddie and Blaze.
A surprising number of baby dragon shots onto that right-hand tower. 2 minutes down, heading into double elixir time, and it is Dignitas out to a pretty substantial lead.
Dignitas playing very, very well right now. That Ram Rider not connecting yet, but will. And so will the Dark Prince. Look at that.
Wow.
And just like that, almost evening things up. That's kind of been the story with Dignitas' 2v2 duos, is that, you know, they'll play very, very strong early on, and just one small slip will cause them to either fall behind in the set or just straight up lose it. And right now, again, look at that.
Mega Knight might get a leap, and it does connect. Tower down, 25 seconds left. Now, a few moments ago, the left-hand tower Fnatic did get down to 366, so a good opportunity here to finish off, but now you see Fnatic just loading up that left-hand lane. They're going to force Dignitas to play spells to finish out.
Yeah, and not have enough on defense, in defense. So you see the miner plus the poison going in. 7 elixirs spent, and they go to the same spot again. Yep. The inside lower spot gets snowballed to the King Tower. Guys, listen. You can't keep going to the same spot with your miner time and time again. Teams are starting to predict it, and look at that King Tower activation that costs you the game. Eye picking up his very first CRL victory here, as you see right there on the tower, looking very, very happy. And then a quick glance over at his opponents, Eddie and Blaze, looking to bounce back in game number 2. And you know we love Eddie and Blaze. We love Dignitas, but you got to vary up your minor positions. If Rich and I up here in the booth know exactly where you're going to go, then you got to guarantee the pros you're playing against know exactly where you're going to go.
And Lava Hound again, so back to the well one more time. This is definitely getting to be the deck that Dignitas runs in 2v2.
And Baby Dragon down, Mega Minion down to help assist with this Lava Hound push. Miner to the back should tank for those Lava Pumps pretty well.
Ram Rider down.
Decent amount of damage coming in from that push. Baby Dragon is getting splash damage.
Oh, wow, with the Dark Prince connection.
Yeah.
The Prince played a little bit too low, so a number of swings from the Dark Prince, and now Fnatic ahead on both sides.
Yeah, that splash damage from both those troops was just devastating to that left-hand tower for Dignitas.
Well, now ahead on both sides. Reaching the midway point of regulation, and Eddie and Blaze lava up one more time. Immediate Pekka in the back, opposite lane.
Yeah. Pekka going opposite, trying to see what they can do. Takes focus away from this Lava Hound push on the left. And look at that lightning and a perfect Mega Minion swing to take out the Lumberjack. But we will have raged up pumps.
A well-timed giant snowball, but
and the Ram Rider is just hanging out, camping on the tower. We're so distracted by what's going on the bottom left. We didn't even realize Dignitas is losing a tower on the top right. And, you know, you saw the Pekka tanking for the other troops, but the Ram Rider was just full health, hanging out.
Rough spot here for Dignitas, and keeps getting rougher.
Yeah, now Fnatic has the luxury of Mega Minioning Mega Knight and Ram Ridering in the back of their King Tower, going right into this double Lava Hound push. A defensive poison comes down.
Miner coming into the back outside. Lumberjack.
Ram Rider does connect in the top left. So Fnatic can happily lose this tower and go into a 2-tower game and just be so far ahead.
20 seconds left.
Dignitas might be able to take this. Mega Minion will get one swing in, a big swing, and the minor connection.
There we go. So the question is, can Dignitas play strong enough defense? And they all both go to the front rather than splitting. That's going to be it. Poison down. Fnatic takes it 2-0. Welcome to CRL West. Yurai, happy to have you here.
And you saw the headphones come off of both the Fnatic players' heads with 8 seconds or so left in the game, knowing that it was all said and done with those spells coming in. A great job by Dignitas trying to come back, and they did end up taking that left-hand tower, but just sacrificed too much elixir and health along the way.
With a set in hand, and more importantly, an opening sweep for Yurai, he takes the tower to open up King of the Hill for Fnatic, with Javi 14 behind him, and Faye playing that anchor spot. Across from them, Dignitas opens up with Oxalate Blaze after that, and if necessary, we go to Frost.
Yeah, and Dignitas really having to turn up the heat now. After losing that first 2v2 set, Yurai having a great CRL debut, maybe even trying to replicate what Luke Dubs did this past weekend.
5-0 would be a nice open, but has 3 guys in front of him who want to say otherwise. Lumberjack cycled in the back for Oxalate. Dark Prince, yeah, Dark Prince will not get past the bats. And, oh, I thought a bat was gonna get a raged up shot there. And here we go, splitting hogs at the river to open up Yurai, picked up by the Inferno Tower.
Yeah, and the splitting of the hogs, something that we've started to see more and more. I mean, Royal Hogs in general have started to pop up quite a bit in 2v2 and 1v1 play.
And Oxalate cleans up that entire Royal Hog split and kind of tweaks his head there, like a little Jean-Claude Van Damme stretch, like, oh, one neck, other neck. Is he gonna do splits on the tower next?
I would love to see that. Musketeers doing battle, but an Ice Golem is taking for one of them. Let's just set a Frost Giant.
And Hog Rider comes down for Oxalate. And
Hog
does
Rider,
get a connection.
Wow. Two big hits, that rage really helping out.
Lumberjack Hog Rider, not something you see often unless you are about to rage on ladder.
Which I've really got to stop playing games in between matches.
Yeah, I've told you, play your mini.
It just causes me so much health concerns and issues.
Heading to double elixir time. Oxalate out with a healthy lead to start, although not going to get that surprise Hog Rider off again.
And Oxalate really started the season off very strong in King of the Hill. Since then, he's now 4-6. Yurai, obviously, this is his very first game.
And goes all in with Piggies in the left-hand lane, picked up again by the Inferno Tower, and a nice Ice Golem from Oxalate to take care of those bats as well. Another Hog connection on the right-hand side, so Oxalate out to a very healthy lead as we are 30 seconds away from sudden death.
Lumberjack in the back, looking to put together a big push.
And now Oxalate shows that EQ as the final card. The Fireball bait deck for Yurai. Only one issue is there is no Fireball for Oxalate.
And one Hog, or one Piggy does sneak by on the left-hand side. We also get a Dark Prince connection on the right. So Oxalate slipping just a little, but nothing too detrimental to his success here in this game.
He just goes ahead and cycles his Earthquake on the right-hand side.
Medium on that play, but to each their own.
Dark Prince gets picked up by the Ice Golem. Oxalate playing this very, very clean.
And now you see the Dark Prince connecting on the left and getting another additional swing in. And that's kind of what happens when you cycle spells that, I mean, obviously the spell never creates a counter push. It's just kind of one and done. And Oxalate taking a bit of an advantage of that.
At this point, Oxalate kind of taking his foot off the gas and just trying to play some smart defense, but there's still a lot of time left. And if he does not put some pressure, he's going to keep letting Yurai take these shots. Something dangerous could slip through.
connecting on the right-hand side.
There we go, Hog Rider
wow.
in response, raged up, is gonna get at least one shot, does not get a second. Piggy's going to the tower for Yarai, trying to make some damage into that right-hand lane. Does not pull it off, but this flying machine, wow, Ice Golem. Oxlet playing beautiful right now.
And you saw that Hog being played by Oxlet trying to pull the Dark Prince farther away, but it was caught up in that swarm of piggies, so things didn't quite go Oxlet's way in that exchange, but he ended with some excellent defense. Yarai trying to put it together once again.
Giant snowball comes in, slows down the Dark Prince, takes out the bats. But Ox a little low on elixir right now.
Very low on elixir. That flying machine is going to be a menace as of right now. Bats coming in.
Wow. Ice Golem just gets in there. You see Ox kind of feeling himself for a moment.
Yeah.
1 minute remains in this game, and at the moment, if we stopped right now, Oxlet would take the win with lowest tower rules.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how many of these massive pushes Yarai puts together, Ox is just defending them so very well, but they are very similar pushes every time, and Yarai needs to change things up.
And another Earthquake. Oxlet trying to create a little bit more distance.
And now we get the dual lane pressure.
Giant snowball to help the Lumberjack on the right-hand lane. That Musketeer still alive. The Dark Prince does not get in front of the... Oh, does get in front of the Musketeer because the Princess Tower targets the pigs to the inside, so this could be close.
Yeah, Bats played high to protect that Musketeer. Musketeer and Lumberjack going to get in the way of that flying machine. Not what Ox wanted to do with that Lumberjack, but it worked out very well.
And now, final 10 seconds, this is it.
Yeah, there's no
Inferno
way.
Tower comes down, Yarai knows it's over. Oxlet comes out with the Hog Lumberjack deck and takes a big opening win in King of the Hill.
Yeah, breathing some life back into Dignitas. This is exactly what that team needed. And now, Javi 14 coming out. If this does go to set 3, Javi 14 will be available. So Oxlet adding to his win column, going up against Javi 14, who is 9-3 in King of the Hill, and shockingly, because of the 2v2 sets he's been participating in, has never played in a 1v1 set.
So as you mentioned, we could see a change here today if we do go to the third and final set. And as we've mentioned a couple times before, Javi 14 played 66 total games last year in CRL Latin America with a 62% win rate. Currently, he's at 21 total games and at a 67% win rate. So
wow,
somehow even better than last season.
And you see right there, just a big time connection. Some Skellies come down to defend, but not going to be enough. And if I'm Oxlet, I just ignore that left-hand tower and see what I can do on the right. And I believe that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, just loading up. Lumberjack comes down, and it's a clone.
Ewiz comes down, Zap comes down. And that was brutal from Javi 14. You see still a nice big hit by Oxlet, but wow.
Not the trade you were looking for.
Wow,
okay,
it ends up
more than we thought.
Yeah, ends up evening out somewhat.
But yeah, Zap and then Ewiz behind. Oof.
And also now your clone, your surprise attack has been shown. So Avi now with all the knowledge that he has, will regroup and see exactly how he can take advantage of this deck. And there you go, pulling off the poison just as he's supposed to.
Yep. Did not get that last tick, though.
Yeah. It's a second early.
And Javi just taking his time right now.
Very happy to make that last 400 HP very difficult for Ox to take. And then as soon as Oxlet has to overcommit, as the time ticks down, Javi will punish. As you can see, he's already starting this big push in the left-hand lane.
Yeah, and a P.E.K.K.A. in front of it. Oh boy, this is going to be really difficult for Ox to contend with.
Oh, Poison's already down.
Oh my word, Battle Ram
big,
connection.
Man. This is going to be a big hit.
Oh, P.E.K.K.A. making her way, and there, no, does not get the hit.
I believe she got one in, does not get the second. And now Ox is going to actually be able to easily take that right-hand tower with Javi selling out on the king.
And now Ox Lava's into the same lane, might end up cloning as part of his defense.
Furnace comes down. Does not stop the charge of the Prince.
So well defended by Oxlet.
And another Lava down in front. Baby Dragon is raged up. We'll give that Lava a nice little push. Maybe something in the pocket to deal with that E-Wiz.
And you see the clone just immediately gets popped. Nice timed poison from Javi, wow.
Ox gonna have to deal with this, you know, again, on the ground. He's only got the Skeletons and the Lumberjack.
So takes care of the P.E.K.K.A, though Bandit does get a dash off.
And a Lava comes down, so the Battle Ram goes down in the right-hand lane. Nothing there to respond. Snowball does assist, but a decent amount of damage in.
So now it's just Oxlet trying to double down in this left-hand lane, hope that he can steal a tower. And Javi Catorce very low on Elixir right now.
Oh, and look at this. Double Baby Dragon get clone and the Lumberjack.
Gosh.
This is huge. Those are going to be easy barbs to go. Oh, and the Zap comes in and saves Javi Catorce for the moment. This has been an incredible game.
Oxlet way ahead on Elixir right now. Throws down the safety furnace.
Yeah, you like the safety furnace play. Makes sure to cover all of his bases. Javi going for the kill.
And the Skeletons...
Oh, he
okay,
does
the P.E.K.K.A does pull around. There we go. And now Lava Hound on the tower.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's going to do it. Lava in on the tower.
Giant snowball, no. Beautiful defense by Javi Catorce. A minute 30 left in this crazy game.
This has been so back and forth. There's been numerous times where it looked like one or the other was going to take the victory, but both of them holding on for dear life.
Dark Prince opposite lane, Lumberjack to me.
Gonna need to get some Skeletons down. There we are.
And Javi just gets the E-Wiz there in time.
337 on Javi's bottom left-hand tower. You see, obviously, Ox, no real big spell.
Oxlet playing very, very cool-headed right now.
Yeah,
it's so easy to try to push for that inside tower. Remember, he currently has the damage lead, meaning if he can just play defense, he has the game won.
And this is a moment where hopefully this is something that him and his coaches have talked about many, many times before. You know, PT being an ex-pro does know the gravity of this situation and the rules.
Lumberjack gets on the King Tower as well, so that's a lot of damage suddenly down to 660.
P.E.K.K.A at the river. Javi just trying anything that he can. Nothing there. Okay. Baby Dragon caught by the E-Wiz.
Lumberjack takes care of the P.E.K.K.A. 19 seconds left. Battle Ram in towards the tower. Giant Snowball pushes back.
Minions on the Princess Tower in the bottom left. 169.
Oh my
85.
Gosh, down to 1 HP.
1 HP remains. We just need a snowball, and Oxlet is going to keep Dignitas alive. Woo! Oh my gosh, I need a break.
That looked like Ox was dead in the water. He starts bailing out that ship and keeps it afloat. Oxlet, one win away from a King of the Hill sweep and sending Dignitas into the 1v1.
So now Faye has a lot to do for Fnatic to close out this match. And on the other side of it, Oxlet just doing it all at this moment for Dignitas. It looks like a 1v1 set is on the horizon. And in that case, you just throw him back in.
If Oxlet keeps playing like this, I mean, that was a phenomenal performance in that last game. Maybe Javi got a bit overconfident in some stages, but defending all of that bridge spam with just a Furnace, Lumberjack, and the Skeletons on the ground.
Yeah, that was just so impressive. And yeah, it looked like Javi was just a little over-aggressive, overconfident, whatever it may have been. He didn't build a big ground push many times.
And Faye going with the Lava Clone.
And Ox looking like he's got decent enough answers. I don't know. That Lumberjack's getting in. No, that's tower down.
Oh boy, yeah, he played the E-Wiz early, and as soon as that was already down, Faye knew it was safe to load up on that clone push, and Oxlet knows he got caught.
Yeah, he definitely got caught. So now he's sitting there. You can see him on the right side of your screen just thinking, okay, what do I do? I've got 2 more elixir time to think, and I need to take a tower.
And most likely playing Royal Giant, so that means that Lumberjack gets even more frustrating.
Yep.
Faye currently 5-3 in head-to-head play, 14-11 overall this season.
The other thing is he's going to have a really hard time getting to the flying machine regularly if it's defended correctly.
This is Faye's third time playing Lava Clone. He is already 1-1 with this deck.
Now mounting up for another push. Faye calls good game and well played already, so feeling very confident.
Yeah, Faye throwing a little shade, huh?
Yeah. I understand it. He had a very, very nice opening sequence, but there's still a minute left to be played.
And Ox goes E-Wiz early again. So I gotta expect that there might be a clone in his future, and there it is.
There it is. And will he have any answers to this huge push once again?
Not looking like it. Not many.
Yeah, he defends it adequately, but still at a deficit on the left side of the screen and a tower down on the right.
Adequate is a choice word there, Andrew. It's how my mom would describe things when I was a kid that were fine, but I was annoyed by.
Yeah, I guess it probably was a little bit more disappointing than it was adequate.
Royal Giant does get through. Clone on defense, and bye-bye Royal Giant.
Yeah, 756 HP remaining on the bottom left tower, but Faye, I thought he was about to take off his headphones. I was like, all right, that might be a little bit much, but look at that swarming push. Faye takes down Oxlet. Blaze coming up next. The big question for Blaze is, can he shake off what happened in that last game?
I believe that he can. I believe that he can get refocused and play well on this stage, but of course he's up against one of the hardest outs, Faye, who his squad didn't have the best performance of the year, but Faye was a standout player there, and that's why he's back this season. So a big spot for the young guy up against Fnatic.
And you know, I'm 100% with you, Rich. I love Blaze. I love that he's here, and that's part of becoming a great player in any sport. You got to learn how to roll with the punches, take losses, and bounce back.
Well, the big question is, has he repaired sort of this late game panic that he's been experiencing so far? He's looked great in early games over and over and over again, and then just when the moment gets to the point where things are starting to heat up, the last 30 seconds, last minute, he's had a tendency to make some mistakes in that part. So if he can maintain the focus he has on the front end to the back end, he can get some wins here in CRL.
You know, and that's something we've seen a lot of players over the last 2 seasons experience in their earlier games or in their season debuts, is they play very, very well, but then make mental mistakes at the end, and that's what separates the veterans from the rookies and the goods from the greats.
So Faye going with some P.E.K.K.A bridge spam, it looks like. And Blaze looking to the official with some sort of issue.
He's not happy about it. Very not happy about it.
And Skeletons come in behind to pick up the Bandit. He's frustrated about something.
Does end up making an even trade of what was going to be a +1 trade, but you know, making an even trade is way better than taking that Bandit dash.
That's true. Halfway through regulation, and so far things still pretty even.
Blaze looks like he's refocused now. Whatever issue he may have been experiencing is not seem to be plaguing his gameplay at this moment.
This is the 7th different deck that Faye has played in his over 9 games so far this season, so pretty excellent variance from the Fnatic player.
Yeah, and Blaze still looking for his first King of the Hill or head-to-head victory. He's come so very close so many times.
That Bandit, a 1 HP Bandit.
Yeah.
She'll do you in.
She really will, and here is this very popular, or becoming more popular, Golem deck. It's got a nice quick cycle to it.
And does not get far enough away to avoid the Dark Prince damage.
So now Blaze is going to have to manage this P.E.K.K.A, which is always a frustrating thing to see when you have a ground tank.
And that's a great lightning, and the Prince was able to reach around and take care of the rest of the P.E.K.K.A. So now this is a big downhill push for Blaze.
You see a desperation zap coming in for Faye. Blaze backs his push up with those skeletons, And now Blaze doing a great job. Good game for him. And the BMs come a-flying. You know what? You deserve it, Blaze. You deserve to BM. Now getting your very first victory, coming so close so many times.
And there you have it, no late game mistake for Blaze. And there you go, that's the King of the Hill finish. We are going to the 1v1 set.
That is amazing. That's the confidence that he's probably been looking for this whole season. You can see how proud his team is of him. And now the big question, do we send out Ox or do you send out Frost to the 1v1?
So here we are heading into the 1v1 set, and you know, some questions up in the air for Dignitas. Will it be Frost or Oxlet? We just saw Oxlet play fantastic Clash Royale, but he did burn 3 decks, whereas Frost has not gone through that today.
I'm so glad that you said that, because Frost is actually the only other person than Eddie to play in the 1v1 set. You saw a lot of Ox today. I think we can guarantee that Javi's going to come out for Fnatic, but I think based off what you just said right now, Rich, that Frost will be the one making his way to the floor. He's 2-1 in games, 1-0 in sets, and
there we go.
Look at that. The Frost man coming out against Javi 14, who has actually never played in a 1v1 set.
Well, never played in a 1v1 set this season.
Yes,
He's played so much last year. I'm pretty sure he played the 3v3, and that hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah, so Javi 14 coming out against Frost in our third and final set.
So here we are. 3 games to decide who takes the dub, who takes the L. Javi 14, of course, has been in this position time and time again, and Frost has been the guy who their squad relies on in tough situations as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone on Dignitas is hoping that he's got numb fingers going on.
And Frost opens up Hog Rider.
Guards to respond. One swing comes in, and a Sparky down. Who'd have thought?
Okay, and Frost goes, oh boy.
Yep.
Not digging it. Although we have seen Hog EQ beat Sparky this year.
We sure have.
I guess it would be this year since Hog EQ is kind of a now deck.
That's right, it's a blanket statement, keeps us safe from the comments.
And the Valkyrie does not get a swing on that Sparky in the back, so
this is already looking a bit dangerous. Sparky does aggro the Inferno, however, and the Inferno's still healthy. Very, very well played by Frost. He's happy to repeat that transaction time and time again.
And 2 swings to open up, so just over a minute played. Frost out to an early lead.
You see Javi not happy with how that went.
So Frost does have a lot of ways to deal with that Sparky. A lot of inexpensive troops to distract and absorb those shocks. You gotta wonder, though, if he would rather have the non-Valkyrie version of the situation than the Valk version.
Yeah, the other versions with
the Ice Golem, I believe.
The Ice Golem, which, sorry, I was choking there. The Ice Golem, which really, really increases the cycle, and the Valkyrie doesn't really add a lot of utility to taking out the Sparky. The minions, you know, obviously can't swing up.
Can't swing up? Man, what a nerf that was.
I know.
And that's a nice job of the Valkyrie staying long enough alive to get that last shot off.
2 big Sparky shots in. Skeletons on the left. I like that so that the Inferno can lock on the right. And Frost just going in to distract.
And does that Sparky get the shot off? It does!
Getting a little overzealous with that Hog, thinking it had all been taken care of. I think almost everyone in the room did as well, but that shot evens things up.
Well, Frost had the elixir to stop it too. That's the probably most frustrating part, is he really didn't think it would get off. You see him shaking his head there.
Yeah, he really thought that he had it with the Valkyrie and then the distraction with the Hog Rider, but just not enough. And now things are looking really bad for Frost.
Yeah, he gave a lot of value with those archers on the inside for the fireball.
That is definitely good game.
Oh boy. Lumberjack gets the last shot off. That Sparky goes down, 1 HP. Zap should come in. Fireball does it instead.
On Hog Rider hit. Oh, just not enough. And you see just one small misplay, one interaction, and Javi let him know.
game in hand for Fnatic. One to give away. Frost wants to take that and run with it.
Just the smallest shift in momentum and confidence from that one Sparky shot. Then you saw the misplays kind of rolling in, the archers and the Inferno Tower value with the fireball, and it was just all downhill for Frost. But you saw PT doing exactly what a good coach does. PT 105 going up there, hyping his player back up, letting him know it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. It's okay. We got another game in hand.
And Frost with a very early graveyard.
Yeah, and that I really don't like, because you spend that much elixir early on that creates no counter push. And you see right here, Javi's got a decent push coming in and also already knows your win condition.
Well, Frost has plenty of elixir to deal with it, so able to recover here. But yeah, the early graveyard almost feels like kind of a, you just took a bad L, so let me get aggressive on the back end.
Yeah, it could be that. Might just have been a horrible starting hand, but very curious as to what Frost had in mind there.
So again, a potential another great situation for Frost with the graveyard up against this Sparky deck.
Pekka comes down to meet the Gob Giant.
And if that E-Wiz gets a zap, gets a, oh, there you go, fireball, but.
So you see a misplay there from Javi 14. See if Frost can capitalize. Not sure. Yeah, and right there goes the elixir lead.
So here we are, entering into double elixir time and another interesting matchup. Frost with a lot of options. But Javi 14 will punish you if you slip for even a second.
Yeah, we definitely saw that last game. Nice poison value coming in here for Frost. Gets one nice zap in from that E-Wiz.
And Javi going, okay, a good spot for me to try to get my Sparky down, but this graveyard deck cycles so fast for Frost, and here we go, split lane pressure.
And that's exactly what Javi should have done when you saw the Pekka played in the back. Now the best response to the Goblin Giant is out of hand. Fireball gonna come in.
Ooh, boy. Able to take down the Goblin Giant, but eats a lot of damage in the process. Pekka, and stopped by the guards. Very well played by Javi.
Last second stop by the guards, and all of a sudden, what looked like just a defensive response has now become a devastating or threatening counter push. Both lanes, 2 elixir in hand. How is Frost gonna defend?
Fireball comes in, high E-Wiz, so out of the range of the fireball will stop the remainder of that damage, but damage done, down to 1155. We are heading into sudden death overtime. And Frost right now just in a really bad cycle against Javi.
Yeah, he needs to figure out a way to at least play efficient enough defense to get his win condition out there again. You see now, Sparky not a great response to the graveyard. Frost throws a hand up real quick. Don't know if that was out of frustration or out of some issue.
So this is a lot of damage. Sparky caught in the poison as well, so that worked out fantastic for Frost.
Yeah. Goblin Giant comes in right in front of that Mega Minion, protecting the Sparky.
This is better for Frost, has everything in the lane that he wants. Fireball value.
Oh, and one of those Spear Goblins does get on the E-Wiz.
And now Frost is trying to do anything he can. He does avoid that shot, but Musketeer's still alive. E-Wiz comes in last second.
The zap wasted by Javi. This is the first time we've even seen the E-Wiz hit the Sparky. Not gonna matter down here.
So Javi loading up one more time. Goblin Giant in front.
Pekka on top. The poison comes down. Gob Giant will connect.
Oh my gosh, that is it. Javi 14 punishes Frost again and takes the win in a closing set sweep to get it for Fnatic.
Yeah, you start off with a sweep, you end the day with a sweep. You saw Oxlet there breathing a lot of life into Dignitas. Blaze closing out the King of the Hill, but Fnatic just overwhelmed them. And Javi 14 doing exactly what he does last season, World Finals, this season, wherever he is, 2-0 in 1v1.
I mean, he got Frost caught in a really bad defensive cycle and playing the wrong troops onto the wrong defensive moments, and next thing you know, it was just easy for him to punish and take control.
Yeah, and you saw that moment where the guards dropped in front of the Sparky, all of a sudden created so much pressure that Frost was thirsting for elixir for quite some time, and then as you mentioned, kind of caught in a bad cycle. He's got his head down, but man, you played very well, Frost. I understand the frustration, but that's what Javi Catorce does. You make one mistake and he makes you and your entire team feel it.
Well, that split lane pressure, so hard to deal with from that deck anyway, but as soon as the P.E.K.K.A. was opposite the Goblin Giant, and then the E-Wiz never able to respond. You saw, it was so late in the game where that E-Wiz was even able to interact with the Sparky, and it was just a lot of trouble for Frost, but more importantly, a lot of really good play from Javi Catorce. He forces you to make mistakes and then punishes you for them.
Yeah, and the fact of the speed of the Goblin Giant, you know it's going to get right to your tower, so you want to drop the P.E.K.K.A. in front of it instead of the P.E.K.K.A. on top of the Sparky. Then the Goblin Giant just got free reign on your tower, so very well played by Fnatic, very well played by Dignitas, but just not quite enough in the tank. So let's head down to the floor and talk to our winners.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm here with Uri, the breakout star on Fnatic from this last match. Uri, we saw you in the 2v2. We saw you in the King of the Hill, and I want to say welcome to Clash Royale West. How are you finding things here?
Básicamente que te acaba de ver aquí, acabas de llegar, que qué tal te sientes aquí y bienvenido a la liga.
Muy contento de unirme a la mejor liga del mundo con el mejor club del mundo y la verdad que muy contento, muy feliz.
He said that he's so happy to be in the best league of the world and being in the best team of the world. It makes him so proud and so happy.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're happy to be joining us. We are certainly happy to watch your matches. And I want to know, you spent so much time as part of the Giants Club out in Spain. This is your first time off the team. You've joined Fnatic. How is the team?
Que has llevado mucho tiempo en Giants, que por primera vez sales de él. ¿Qué tal te sientes al incorporarte a un nuevo equipo como Fnatic y demás?
La verdad que muy bien, muy contento de incorporarme a este club y muy contento con todo lo que me han ayudado como el entrenador, como todos, y muy feliz de unirme al club.
Another time he said he's so happy for being with us, that we helped him so much in trainings, for improve and everything, and he's so thankful with us and for everything.
Well, you're joining us in the middle of the season. I wonder, how much time have you had to work with Fnatic? You did a great job in the 2v2. You and Faye played so well together. How did you achieve that?
La verdad que no hemos tenido mucho tiempo para entrenar juntos, pero yo creo que hemos preparado bien la estrategia, hemos sacado los mazos de nuestro confort y hemos sacado buenos matches y hemos jugado muy bien.
And he said that they didn't got so much time, but they play what they practiced before, and we got the matchup that we wanted to, and they played their comfort, so it worked well.
I love it when everything goes according to plan. Now, it was a little different in your head-to-head. You went up against Oxalate, who is a fearsome competitor, and he brought something a little weird to the table, going up against his Earthquake deck. What did you think of that match for your first head-to-head and that deck?
Saqué un mazo que me sentía bastante cómodo con él. Creo que tuve un buen matchup y que no jugué muy bien, pero igualmente ganamos, así que estoy contento con el equipo.
He said that Jerai played a deck that he feels really strong with it, and he thinks that he got a good matchup, but he didn't play well, so Oxalate did better and he just won that. He's not sad because we won at the end of the match, so everything is right.
Well, and I want to end on a high note, too. So I know you have so many fans out there in Spain, so many fans holding over from the Clash Royale League LATAM. What do you want to say to them?
Que estamos trabajando muy duro para poder llegar a los playoffs y que seguiríamos trabajando duro para poder llegar.
He said that we're working so hard for making through playoffs and that we will keep working so hard for making it possible.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Uri. Appreciate your insights. Let's send it back to the casters. Take a look at that last match.
Thanks a lot, Rachel, and Uri fitting in well with his team despite coming in late. A nice debut, opening up with a win in the 2v2, and as he said, not too disappointed because they got the most important thing, which was the squad win.
Yeah, and you love that positivity, that young, new energy. I mean, obviously, he is a seasoned competitor, but CRL West, he said it, it's the best in the world. This is the league, and he had a great debut.
A fantastic debut, and of course, cleaned up by Javi Catorce at the end, so well played by Javi
He is
as well. I know.
Incredible.
I know. Well, we still have one more, guys. Coming up next, Misfits facing off against Tribe. It's been a rough day for our 2 and 5 teams, 2 fallen so far. 1 more remains. Misfits trying to get a 3rd win on the season, but in front of them, the number 9 team in Tribe.
Yeah, Tribe at 3 and 4, and Misfits, of course, at 2 and 5, as you just stated, Rich. And a lot of work for both these teams to still make it to playoffs. Now, we're not still 100% sure if that is possible because a lot is still left to be sorted out, but a win today keeps you at least a little bit in the running.
And this is an interesting mix between these two squads because you got to give the 2v2 advantage to Tribe with B-Rad and J Monty. You got to give the King of the Hill advantage over to Misfits with the way they've been playing so far. And then it comes down to the 1v1.
Yeah, and you know, the 1v1 set is always a question mark. Wings, who has been so dominant in the King of the Hill set, has struggled a lot in 1v1. You know, and Trainer Chris, has really started to establish himself as a head-to-head player again. So for Misfits, we have Loai, Wings, Trainer Chris, and Baron, who is still recovering, but he's able to make it up to the top of that tower.
Yeah, he can get up there with a little help from his friends, so we'll see how they shape up today against Tribe Gaming with Tommy, J Monty, Spades, Nitram, and B-Rad, and one of the best 2v2 duos this season in that opening pair of J Monty and B-Rad.
Yeah, B-Rad and J Monty being so good in the 2v2, however, not leaving either of them available for the 1v1 set where Tommy has picked up a lot of that slack, but there is, of course, Spades and Nitram. So our last 2v2 set of the day is coming your way.
So no surprises from the Tribe Tower, B-Rad, J Monty, but a bit of a shakeup here for Misfits. Wings in for Baron in the opening set.
Yeah, and it might be what we were just discussing in the opening, Rich, is that Wings is 0-3 in 1v1 sets, but he's 10-2 in King of the Hill. So now, maybe he can translate some of that King of the Hill success over to 2v2 where they have been struggling, still play in the King of the Hill set, and now Baron has been freed up to maybe take the game home.
That's a big shift, so we'll see how Wings and Loai work together in the 2v2 against the now 2 seasons of experience in this set from J Monty and B-Rad.
Yeah, and that's the thing that is a big question mark, right? One of the best 2v2 duos out there going up against a first-time squad.
And the freeze comes in, but after the giant snowball has already pushed the Ram Rider back, still a raged-up Ram Rider connects on that tower.
Wow, so Tribes, J Monty, and B-Rad off to a nice start. They are 5-1 in the 2v2 set, finally finding their first loss in their last match against SK to Morton and OP Sam.
I always find it hilarious when a giant skeleton goes up against a graveyard because it feels like there's a giant parent who's just like, okay, kids, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're causing a problem.
I was about to go the cannibalism route, and I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Although I still said it, and I can't take it back.
That's a thing you could have done, and then did anyway. First minute and a half down, and Tribe out to the early lead, but not by too much. Dark Prince behind for Tribe.
One thing we've noticed a lot about newer squads playing against vet squads is they may have a really nice first couple minutes, but then once the pressure is up, once the towers get low, once the elixir is flowing faster, they start to make the communication mistakes.
There you go.
That J Monty and B-Rad or Colton and Razor don't make.
And that's the big ticket there, the communication mistakes. So if you want to see if Wings and Loai begin feeling the pressure, see if we start seeing any double drops on defense.
Yeah, double drops is the name of the game when it comes to miscommunication. A nice NATO freeze, a bit aggressive, but hey, it's going to take some damage off that tower.
It takes quite a bit off that tower and gets rid of the Dart Goblin.
And they find themselves at a good place elixir-wise.
Ram Rider trying to work its way through, taken out by the Ice Wiz Musketeer combination.
You know, you really don't see the log as much these days because of the because of the Barb Barrel being so effective, but in 2v2 that knockback is so crucial.
Yeah, it really helps with getting more spell value, especially on those poisons, and then not to mention the little extra tower damage.
Yeah, just because of how much Royal Giant has been used in this meta, it's nice to take him away from the tower for even if it's just one shot.
Earthquake comes out for Tribe, so we've talked about this a lot. We believe this really has a good place potentially in the 2v2 meta.
Yeah, we're both big fans of Earthquake in 2v2, and I really like the decision that Misfits has here of playing the Musketeer offset to the left to help clean up the Ram Rider and assist the lane that they need.
Dueling freezes from both squads, and now that we're in sudden death overtime, Misfits slightly ahead and a very nice log.
And this is the moment where we're going to start to look for those double drops, look for those mental and communication mistakes. 300 HP separating these two.
Graveyard poison down.
Giant Skelly trying to block that Ram Rider, but a freeze, a big freeze comes in.
And the freeze also pulls the opposing Giant Skeleton deeper into enemy territory.
Yeah.
So there's some nice help in clearing out some of that defensive troops.
Yeah, the freeze NATO did not work in Misfits' favor, and now 334 HP remains on that tower. We are within spell cycle range. You got to imagine Earthquake and Poison are going to come in very, very soon, but they need to defend against this graveyard, and they will do it very easily with the Dark Prince and a Dark Goblin.
Poison down, trying to get some value on that Dark Goblin. Dark Prince does not get in there, and a NATO to nowhere from Tribe.
Yeah. So maybe a moment for Misfits to steal it.
Gosh, they do
it! The NATO from nowhere strikes again and takes down Tribe as their next victim. I mean, also Wings and Loa had something to do with it, but that NATO was everything in that moment.
What a wild finish for Misfits to steal that one. Of course,
Yeah.
It started with that Dark Goblin being NATO'd from behind the King Tower and frozen for that graveyard push. But then here's the finish, and something we didn't expect just came down to the wire, Andrew.
Yeah, this was an absolutely crazy finish. You see the Poison coming down, offensively trying to get in there. The Dark Prince doesn't quite make it, and then the NATO from nowhere and to nowhere. Nothing there to stop this Dark Prince. Oh wait, Skelly's come down, and then a graveyard freeze for Misfits, and that is all she wrote. One small misplay cost Tribe that first game.
16 HP. Not so sweet 16 this time around. Wings and Loai have game number one. J Monty and B-Rat trying to get one back. You know, we talked about misplays when the pressure is on, and
Yeah.
it was when it was the veterans of this set who fell to it in the final moments.
Yeah, very, very surprising misplay. Now, we've seen J Monty and B-Rad make misplays before. They usually kind of shake it off, laugh it off even, and move forward. But that one was just made too late in the game to recover. And Misfits saw their opening and they took it. And yeah, I love that you pointed out that NATO freeze on the Dark Goblin. It's so hard to take out the Dark Goblin that defends against a graveyard. It is the best defense to a graveyard. And that's honestly the reason why we've seen such a massive influx in Dark Goblins in 2v2 is to defend against the graveyard. But if you NATO it to the Princess and freeze, that is going to be a quick way to take out the Dark Goblin and a way to assist your graveyard.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that before, but I have a feeling we'll see it again. Miner picked up by the guards. Misfits content to sit on some elixir for a moment. You see
Lumberjack
why.
to tower, there you go. Two big swings in.
And it is Lava Hound for Tribe. They do take one extra Mega Minion swipe.
And they are at an elixir deficit, or about even, I guess, with the Lava Hound on the field. But Misfits out to a good start again.
Inferno Tower down, very nice lightning.
A log being cycled. 2 elixir that was just for tower damage. I don't know if that'll come back and bite them or not.
That was a little hard. That lightning timing was challenging because you want it early enough before the Inferno Tower. Whoa, okay.
That was an early NATO, but they are going to recover.
There's the idea was to get it to pop so they could get troops in between the pups and the tower.
Yep.
Talking back with that lightning timing, just you're trying to get it there in a right spot where the Inferno Tower hasn't kicked into its next gear, but at the same vein, maybe a little early for some of those defensive troops.
Yeah, exactly. Usually 3 seconds is about the amount of time you want to take before sending in, or right at 3 seconds is where you want to stop or reset an Inferno Tower, and right there was just a little ill time.
Poison taking out the Inferno Tower and the Ice Wizard.
And yep.
Mega Minion finishes off the Frosty one.
Log come down, make those guards basically useless. That time the NATO lands in the correct moments.
And Miner to the back outside. Lumberjack has to come back to get it down to 424. So Tribe in a good position right now to win in game number 2.
Yeah, Misfits needs to make something happen right now. And as you can see, this is the first time they've played their Royal Giant. So not ideal to play your win condition once you get into double or into overtime.
Or for that to make its first appearance. Means you've been playing from behind for a while, and now second Royal Giant down. Royal Giant Miner at the back of the tower. Inferno Tower still alive a little bit longer, does help. And that tornado pulls
and another
the Miner.
shot for the Royal Giant.
Whoa.
That is going to do it. Fireball in, and now B-Rad and J Monty go from perfect to losing 2v2 sets in a row. And I think we found a new spot for Wings to play. So before we get into King of the Hill, we're going to talk about that interaction we spoke on before. You see the Dark Goblin in the back NATO'd to the Princess Tower, then frozen, and a skeleton actually takes out the Dark Goblin. So that pesky response is no longer in play.
Here's the finish, and we'll take a look at that top tower in a moment, but first the Miner comes in on the bottom for Tribe. Giant snowball, NATO to King Tower, keeps it off, and that just opens the door while that Royal Giant does work. Miner comes in, Fireball finishes it off, and that is how Misfits took down J Monty and B-Rad and head into a set where you might say they have the advantage with one set in hand.
And a swarm of units on top of that Royal Giant, but it just did not go down in time. So now Tribe playing from behind for the second time this season and the second time in a row.
Tommy opening up for Tribe and King of the Hill. Nitram and J Monty back behind him if necessary. And as you can see, Trainer Chris on the tower right now. He'll be followed by Wings and Baron.
Yeah, and Trainer Chris has really kind of taken a turn this season, evening up his record in King of the Hill to 5-5, but he was off to a 0-3 start. So really great going 5-2 since.
So a pair of Ice Wizards. Ice Wiz has been paired a lot with Royal Giant this season. You see a Tombstone for Trainer Chris, which
also been paired with Graveyard, decent amount, or Lava Hound.
And a Mega Knight for Tommy.
Ooh.
That's an interesting wrinkle.
And we do know that Tommy does like to play basically anything and everything, and the frustrating thing for his opponents is he's good with all of them.
Yeah, Tommy has, if I showed you his deck pool, I'd have to pull out, I think, like 4 scrolls, an encyclopedia, and maybe another ream of paper just to write it down.
Yeah, it looked like a CVS receipt.
First minute and a half away, and so far not much doing on either side. And Royal Giant for Tommy with the Mega Knight.
Yeah, we see that Tombstone coming down with the Ice Wizard and the Baby Dragon. We know this deck and its incredible defensive capabilities. A very nice NATO, even picking up the Barb Barrel at the end. And that Royal Giant will still get a shot in.
Trainer Chris has played a fair amount of Ram Rider this season. So you gotta wonder.
Oh, wow.
Oh, just an aggressive high Mega Knight.
Yeah, very, very interesting play there from Tommy. And there's the answer. That's why.
Wow, and nothing on the ground to pick it up.
Exactly.
Mega Knight takes a huge leap, and that tornado might reset it for another one.
That is, wow!
My God.
And that is what we call next level plays. Knowing your opponent's cycle, knowing how to take advantage of it, and my goodness, did Tommy do just that.
That is the most frustrating thing you can ever do with a tornado, whether it's a Mega Knight or a Bandit. It hits, you try to NATO away, and it does it again. Lightning comes in, Royal Giant with a shot.
And the Barb with a big time swing, and Tommy is in a commanding lead. I still cannot get over the baiting out of the units for the Lightning with that Mega Knight, and then the double jump. That was insane.
Wild. Ice Wiz trying to slow down, but does get the target on the Mega Knight.
One shot snuck through there, Rich.
Lightning not going to do enough to get that final shot, but 100 HP, that's going to be it. Trainer Chris throwing out the crying emojis. He knows he just got worked by Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, that is just a straight bait and hook.
And trying to get a Graveyard down, hoping maybe he can steal this with a sneaky Graveyard. Tornadoes things away from the tower, but Lightning comes in. Tommy with dominance in game number 1.
And Chris kind of just smiling because he knows he got swerved. He knows there was nothing to do there. That Mega Knight, when played with that much confidence that high up, you've got to second guess your defense responses.
Next, after a successful 2v2 debut, Wings back on the tower in King of the Hill.
Wings and Tommy, the two standouts for both teams in head-to-head play, and especially in King of the Hill. Tommy now at 10-5, Wings at 10-2.
Wings just opens up Lava Hound immediately into the same lane. Comes the Royal Hogs push from Tommy.
Yeah, so this could actually be a good situation for Wings to be in right now. A lot to support that Lava Hound. Maybe a big spell coming down. Oh, Miner on top of the girls.
Nice work with the Miner for Wings.
Oh, and the minion turns around, and that is going to be a lot to deal with. A great fireball from Tommy to stay alive, coupled with the snowball, but look at the elixir deficit.
Yeah, way behind now is Tommy, so will Wings punish him?
Gonna probably...
Lava Hound 1 card away.
Yep. There's the tombstone. Gonna wait for 2 more ticks and maybe lava up again, but Tommy has had time to catch up.
So that flying machine benefiting from the tombstone there, staying high enough for a while to now get onto the Lava Hound as well.
But it does move into Princess Tower range. A nice little roll of the dice there for Wings. And there's the spell that he wished he had earlier.
So Poison takes care of the girls. Rascal Boy just waddling along to the tower. Nicely timed Ewiz.
Ewiz does create counter push potential for Tommy, and a Mega Knight again. Card that we have not seen used almost at all in head-to-head play, and Tommy using it 2 games in a row.
Yeah, very little Mega Knight this season. We've seen it some with minor control, but only a couple times. A little bit with Ram Rider.
Yeah.
And Royal Hogs aggressive again.
Yeah, this is a fascinating deck that Tommy's playing. $9.94 remains to 14.31. Lava Hound coming down in front of the Mega Minion.
And that's what Tommy wanted out of those Rascals. The Rascal Boy gets far enough ahead to give the Rascal Girls room to work.
Yep, and keep all the DPS units at bay for Wings, but now a pretty big push coming in for Tommy.
And Mega Knight gets down to pick up some of that damage, so does a good job on that end, and now you have a healthy Ewiz, bats behind the Mega Knight.
Yeah.
Fireball comes in.
Does miss the Lumberjack, which could be the difference between maybe taking the game now and in a minute or 2, we'll see.
And Wings slowing down, just making sure he has the proper defense ready.
Gets right on top of that flying machine as it gets played in the center every time to target that tombstone.
Yeah, he's playing the tombstone over and over again, but it is not taking care of those Royal Hogs.
Ideally for Wings, he would probably get the tombstone down and then have a Mega Minion up high to take out that flying machine. And then support the Lava Hound with a Mega Minion Baby Dragon. But not working out in his favor this time around.
And now you might see the Royal Hogs coming out in just a moment. Instead, Tommy, oh, there we go. Now the Royal Hogs come out. Tombstone nowhere near in cycle.
And the
Fireball comes down
for a late tombstone. That is gonna do it. And
there,
Wings, oh.
There you go. And Tommy just timed that perfectly. So after a commanding performance in 2v2, Misfits struggling to find their footing in King of the Hill, and it seems like it's opposite day today.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Wings, someone who usually dominates the King of the Hill set. Tribe, Jay Monty, and Brad, people who usually dominate the 2v2 set, and not today. And Tommy has just been playing out of his mind.
It is kind of strange to play Clash Royale on the upside down.
Baron looking for his first head-to-head victory still.
Has not played a lot head-to-head, only 2 appearances so far in King of the Hill.
Falling to the God RF when he was on his tear in the beginning of the season. And of course, Javi Catorce, who has just been outstanding.
So we've seen a lot of Tommy going with some wild stuff today, and has he picked just a central, right down the middle of the line meta deck for game number 3?
Maybe, and he'll be going up against the most popular deck win rate-wise here at CRL. And yeah, looks like we're just going with tried and true decks right now, Rich.
And that Ewiz doing a good job making room for that Royal Giant.
Yeah, that Sparky not going to get a shot on the tower. RG taking the bottom left tower of Baron down to 1385.
So basically another perfect opening 60 seconds from Tommy.
Does get 2 Mega Minion swings on his top left tower, but he's probably pretty okay with the way that exchange went.
Goblin Giant in the back for Baron. Will he support with a Sparky?
Be surprised, but goes to just see what Tommy wants to respond with.
Just choosing to let that Goblin Giant go all the way around, and as you said there, Andre, be kind of picking and choosing, feeling his opponent out.
Yeah, Sparky there felt like it would be a little bit too aggressive again, especially against someone like Tommy.
Maybe a bit of a feint there, and as soon as Sparky comes down, Royal Giant opposite lane.
And so frustrating to play against. Keeping your opponent guessing at all times is Tommy from Tribe. Does get a big couple swings in from that Dark Prince. This could really help out with his Goblin Giant Sparky push in the other lane.
And Ewiz gets right on top of the Sparky guards as well. That Goblin Giant will get a couple stabs on the tower.
And we've seen these two decks match up before, at least a lot of these similar cards. The best thing to do here for Baron is drop a Hunter high as your Sparky is crossing the river to try to catch that Ewiz. We'll see if he tries that out on his next Sparky Gob Giant push, if he even gets to another one.
Royal Giant gets 1 shot, gets 2 shots. Goblin Giant with support behind. Mega Minion on the Baby Dragon.
Ewiz played high up by the Princess. Lightning comes in. That is a big time lightning.
That is a beautiful lightning, and just 1 stab from the Goblin Giant, but a Mega Minion swing as well.
Tommy feeling the heat.
Baby Dragon meets just 1 tile closer to the tower than Tommy would have liked.
The other thing that you have to keep in mind is the fact that Baron is the most likely player to pop into that 1v1 set if that's where this match goes, because Wing's no longer available and he's kind of been their 1v1 guy.
The high Hunter to stop the Royal Giant does its job. The Dark Prince eats a lightning shot. Baron looking like he might be in a decent rhythm now.
Mega Minion coming in to support. Ewiz out of cycle. Goblin Giant walk into the tower.
And a nice lightning. Goblin Giant gets a swing.
194 on the tower. Now Baron, all he needs is 1 more lightning. You saw him a bit frustrated the lightning went to the guard as opposed to the Mega Minion, but honestly, this is still going very well for him.
And Tommy not putting the pressure on, maybe trying to wait. You might see the guards for a block. They do not get down. There you have it. Baron takes out Tommy.
Nitra making his way to the tower again for his 3rd King of the Hill appearance. And as I said before, he's struggled a bit in head-to-head play, but his opponents have been Lapakati, Morton when he went on his tear, and Oxlet when he went on his sweep.
Yeah, there's been some tough outs so far this season, and Nitram has had some struggles there, but certainly a talented player. The question I'm going to have is, will we maybe see him play that Graveyard Double Prince deck that Jay Monty credits him with coming up with?
It's a very interesting question.
So we've seen Musketeer. Does not usually run Mega Minion in that deck, so probably not.
Baron with a slight shake of his head. I always wish I could see exactly what the players are thinking when they see 1 card come out and they do that.
And Lava Hound for Baron. RG opposite lane immediately for Nitram.
And it will get picked up by the Tombstone and Lumberjack. This is going to be a pretty cheap and effective defense for Baron, and it will create a very small but powerful counter push.
Able to turn around the Lumberjack, and the Fire Spirit helps. 1 shot does get in.
Baron still has 6 Elixir in hand. You see him drop the Mega Minion. And a very nice defensive lightning from Nitram, and Baron goes, yeah, you caught me.
Wow, though, that last lava pup able to survive with the tankage from the miner, so down to 1690 as Nitrum's left-hand tower.
Yeah, so actually went okay for Baron, really.
Tombstone's up again. Barbell takes a couple shots, and now Nitrum RG's in the back.
And Baron goes in the same lane. Gonna try to take this RG out, get a lot of troops behind to support his Lava Hound. He has to be very cognizant of that lightning, however, in Nitrum's hand. Already giving a ton of value.
There you go, that was a big one, but that Royal Giant does not get a shot.
And the miner's gonna come in, but not a lot to tank for, honestly. Just a raged up Baby Dragon.
Ooh, Mega Minion gets there just in time. Final 30 seconds of regulation. Nitrum playing from behind, but mounting a pretty significant push.
Gonna need to get Tombstone down. There it is. There's the Lumberjack as well, supporting. Gonna get a lot of chops in, but it's retargeted onto the Barbarian.
And there's a good shot, so now down to 1848. Nitrum battling back in. Raged up Baby Dragon gets on tower this time.
2 big belches and a Skelly hit in.
Musketeer and Furnace take a lot of damage from that poison.
And if Misfits ever needed a King of the Hill sweep more, I don't know when it would have been.
This would be a big one. Lightning makes enough room for a second Royal Giant shot.
Barbarian
now Lumberjack went opposite direction.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna... You got the miner still there, Baby Dragon alive, Pups behind. That is gonna do it. Baron will take the tower.
Wow. Baron, 1 game away from a reverse sweep in King of the Hill, which would mean a 2-set straight sweep over Tribe.
Which is one of the things that is so impressive and crazy about these players at CRL West is they don't even have a victory, a head-to-head victory coming into the set, and all of a sudden we see a set sweep. We saw Air Surfer do it, I believe, and now Baron right behind him. Game 5 coming your way.
And if there's a guy that you want in this spot for Tribe, it's the man on the tower right now. Untiltable, unflappable, and most importantly, talented Jay Monty facing off against Baron.
Well, let's not forget he's got a great dab as well.
He does dab exceptionally well. There was no one more excited by those Wizard emotes than Jay Monty last season.
And then you. I believe it was the 2 of you standing in line outside the Wizard emote store. Yes, yes, that does exist.
Musketeer takes down the Dark Prince with the help of the Ice Golem, and we once again see Sparky.
So funny, the card basically didn't exist last year unless Asuchini was on the stage, and now we see it at an exceptionally high win rate and play rate.
I mean, the Goblin Giant really reinvigorated this card. You know, Giant Sparky's been around for a long time, but Goblin Giant Sparky is just vastly superior.
Yeah, and that range increase that the Sparky got is just... You think you're out of range. You think it's not going to get a shot off, and all of a sudden your tower blows up.
So Miner Musk Loon for Jay Monty.
Nice use of the Barb Barrel there to tank for the Inferno Tower, but Jay Monty's back around to another one.
A second Inferno Tower, and not able to protect this one from the Dark Prince.
Dark Prince may still get a charge in on that tower.
And just barely stopped.
Enough elixir for a Goblin Giant Sparky push. We'll see if Baron pulls the trigger or not. Goes the smarter route.
Jay Monty got maybe a little bit surprised by that. So heading into double elixir time, Jay Monty slightly ahead, although slightly ahead means just about nothing against Goblin Giant Sparky.
Yeah, you can be ahead by 1,000. Still means almost nothing.
Nice lightning, good value, and will open up the first hit of defense, but immediately, Balloon's opposite lane.
Ice Golem there trying to help the Balloon out, get to the tower. Snowball saying no. Will we get death damage? I believe so.
Yeah, a little death damage there. And great snowball play from both. It was Jay Monty trying to make enough room for the balloon to sneak through, and then Baron in the back end going, nope, that balloon is going right back to the Hunter.
Skeleton cycled on the left-hand side of your screen, trying to create a very, very cheap and aggressive push. Once again, the balloon coming behind the Ice Golem, trying to out-cycle Baron's Hunter.
And this is what this balloon deck can do. It cycles so quickly.
Yeah, you feel like you just defended a balloon in one lane and there's all of a sudden another one coming down or going opposite.
And a perfect Skeleton's play on that Sparky, and balloon again.
Oh, yep. No Hunter in hand, Mega Minion up high. This could be a connection.
Giant snowball comes in on both sides. Balloon should still get a drop. Yes, it does.
One big time drop. Baron sitting there kind of laughing, chuckling to himself, going, how am I supposed to keep up with this cycle?
Oh, Skeletons played a little bit off that time, so forcing both the Ice Golem and Barb Barrel out.
And now is when we see the Gob Giant push. Yep, there's the Goblin Giant down. Gonna try to do what he can, maybe a Barb Barrel to take out or distract.
Great pickup by Baron to the Miner in the back.
And just not enough elixir in hand to put in that lightning.
And the Sparky barely does not get off that shot.
Very, very good defense by Jay Monty.
Hunter should come up high. There we go. Snowball moves just a little bit. That might be a connection.
Wow!
Yes, it is! Jay Monty makes it through!
Baron can't believe it. I can't believe it. That was the balloon that could apparently nothing taking that down. That sliver of HP is so much more than you think it is.
That is Clash Royale, and that is what a balloon will do to you. You're like, there's no way that that's ever going to destroy my entire life. Let's look at that closing moment one more time, and you can see here we are just deep into overtime. You think that it's not going to happen. Hunter gets down. Andrew, take us away.
Yeah, Hunter down right there in front. You know the snowball's going to come in from both players. Mega Minion there as well, but no! The Mega Minion and the Princess Tower, not enough. That balloon, you got to zoom in. We need a microscope to see how much health it has.
Wow, just, I guess, caught the open corner, that last little chunk of the Princess Tower, and takes us all the way to our third and final set. And no surprises here. Baron out for Misfits, Tommy out for Tribe. This is a big one.
Yeah, there's no way you don't play Tommy after that display he had in King of the Hill. And then on the other side of it, you know that Baron was adjusted out of the 2v2 to be right here in the 1v1 set.
And there's a nice early King Tower activation for Baron. And you see Baron go, huh?
Yeah.
Because how often do you see minions with Hog Rider?
Not very often. You saw him shake his head earlier, even during the King Tower activation as well, maybe thinking he had a bad matchup. And I think that look might have been like, all right, maybe I actually don't know what this matchup is.
Ice Wiz, NATO, Tombstone, all of those are pretty nice for dealing with Hogs.
Yeah. He should have a pretty good advantage if he can keep up with the cycle of Tommy. But as we know, Tommy is one of the best players in the world at making on-the-fly adjustments.
Well, at this stage, as long as Baron has one of those two, the Tombstone or the NATO, in response to the Hog, he should be able to prevent the vast majority of those connections.
Yeah. And most likely running Graveyard. There it is.
There we go.
And the Baby Dragon not tanking for the Skellies, but will take down that Musketeer and get some nice splash damage on that tower.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well for Baron in the end. First minute 40 down. Fairly even after no, does not get one more belch, but still pretty close.
Looks like Tommy here running Hog Rider 2.6 version 2. Something like that. A lot of swaps out, you know. No log, get the Barb Barrel.
This is about the closest we've seen thus far. And lightning. All right.
I love the deck selection by Tommy today. Every time he's played something off meta, he's won.
And Inferno Tower. So Tommy having a good time with it. And we'll see if this pays off against Baron.
A very high poison from Baron, taking care of that Musketeer.
And everything distracting the Baby Dragon long enough. Hog Rider comes through. Ice Golem gets a one little burst on the Tombstone, but between Tombstone and Ice Wiz, that Hog not getting the tower.
And another Graveyard coming down for Baron. Nice poison value there. It's going to completely take care of the minions and the Musketeer. Look at that.
Hog Rider, though, will get the tower.
And the NATO comes in very, very late from Baron. Oh.
Yeah, this is razor thin. We're heading to sudden death overtime, and both players have taken their lumps and given back in kind.
Yeah, that Hog Rider almost gave Baron flashbacks of that balloon.
Bar Barrel gets a nice little bit of chip on the Musketeer and then makes its way in front of the Inferno Tower.
Yeah, Baron's been having a hard time getting his tanks in front for those Skellies, but right there,
Whoa.
a big chunk of damage going down for Tommy.
So here we go. Baron's taken a pretty significant lead, and Tommy just doesn't quite have the elixir he might want for some of these counter pushes.
And Baron has all the answers. Here we go, probably gonna put together another Graveyard push.
Yeah, the pace is just relentless from Baron so far.
And Baron only cares about a skeleton hit or two, but mainly getting this great poison value every time. It's gonna add up down to 400 HP. That's 2 poisons away.
And here we go, Lightning does make some room. Hog almost gets on tower, but it's that Ice Wiz NATO combination.
Yeah, Tommy just knows this is a brutal matchup. Now, he hasn't given up, but there's so much damage that still needs to be done. Baron finally gets the Prince to tank for his Skellies. Skellies on, poison in. That is going to do it, and Tommy knows that is a very good game and well played by Baron.
Baron takes game number 1 of the final set, 1 win away from taking a big win over Tribe Gaming. Baron taking a big opening win, and in case you forgot from last season, Baron was great in 1v1, going 5-2 in overall sets, 11-5 and 1 draw in games.
Yeah, I mean, that is the idea behind this roster changeup, and I love it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Baron being in the 1v1, moving wings to the 2v2 is just excellent.
Baron throws archers in response to the minions. And Musketeer. Now Baron looking like Hog EQ.
Lumberjack rushing down the left-hand lane, gonna meet a Valkyrie. So most assuredly gonna be Hog EQ with the Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie version of this deck just has not quite performed at the same level as the skeleton or as the Ice Golem version.
Yeah, just slowing down that cycle just a bit, and that's one of the reasons that the Hog EQ has prevailed, is when that cycle gets just impossible to keep up with.
And we saw essentially this, or at least a very similar matchup earlier with the Goblin Giant Sparky deck up against the Hog EQ with Valkyrie, so.
A great +3 trade there from Baron with those archers.
We'll see if Baron can improve on what we saw earlier from Frost today.
Valkyrie down again. Gonna try to get those Spear Goblins on the Valkyrie as opposed to the Inferno.
And second Inferno Tower immediately behind.
Hog gonna come in. Will get at least 1 swing, maybe 2.
Yeah, Lumberjack with the skeleton, so that Hog just goes to town on that left-hand tower.
Baron feeling real good right now.
1 minute left in regulation. We're going to double elixir time, and Baron
great.
has been ahead.
Yeah, great Valkyrie value there, getting dropped on top of all that.
Tommy Sparky's up behind his less healthy tower.
And Baron, there we I was gonna say, I'm surprised I haven't seen him drop a Hog in the right, but there goes the Hog, met by the Lumberjack. And you see Baron taking deep breaths right now, knowing that he has to play perfect defense. The zap comes in, Tommy not happy about something.
Ooh,
maybe
boy.
the miss zap.
And that worked out very well for Baron.
Couldn't quite see what it was, so much going on.
Hog sneaking past. That's going to get at least one shot. Going to get a second one with
yep.
that snowball.
Maybe even 3.
Woo!
Wow, 3 big Hog swings for Baron. Baron doing exactly what he needs to stay calm. You see him taking deep breaths, staying locked in the zone, knowing how quickly this deck he's playing against can punish him. He's got to keep repeating the same transactions.
And a nice Earthquake to slow things down, give himself some time to get those skeletons in front of the Sparky. Valkyrie cleans stuff up. This is beautiful from Baron.
Yeah, that was a great snowball, great Valkyrie. Everything working for Baron right now.
Sparky in front, Goblin Giant all the way in the back. Baron choosing to not, or Tommy choosing not to get too involved with this Sparky push. Zap! And that's gonna be a big shot!
He knew it was coming. And you see Baron go opposite lane. I don't know about that.
Goblin Giant making a beeline for that tower. Inferno Tower picks it up.
That adjustment zap on those skeletons, which Tommy knew were gonna come down, was beautiful.
And now Tommy slightly ahead on Elixir, throws a Goblin Giant at the river.
Valkyrie up front to distract the Spear Goblins. Snowball in to slow the Gob Giant. And one big zap swing assist. Wow. Hog Rider and 1 hit. Hog Rider 2.
Oh my gosh, down to 183. Can Baron outcycle, get those spells down in time to beat the Goblin Giant of Tommy?
Oh, the Valkyrie gets some big hits in from the Spear Goblins. Tommy says good game.
Goblin Giant gets it done. Game number 2 goes to Tommy. Beautiful performance coming from behind. Very, very difficult for him, and that was wild. This is a firefight. Andrew, Clash Royale is absolutely insane, and this last week or so, it feels like it's been getting tighter and tighter.
I mean, every team is feeling the pressure of playoffs coming, and we finally have our magic number, which is 8 wins. 8 wins secures you a spot.
Guarantees you a spot. Some teams might make it without 8 wins, but that's the one that says, yep, you're in. So it looks like Baron's going Hog EQ again, and Tommy could be going Goblin Giant Sparky one more time. And you see Baron, he knows what he's facing.
I would love to see a rematch of that last game.
I wonder if Baron's going with the exact same version with the Valkyrie, if he switched it up a little bit.
I mean, that Valkyrie, there's the Valkyrie again, so maybe both these guys just running it back. You see Baron shaking his head
in this matchup.
The thing is that Baron had it. He had it for so long in that last game. He just can't get caught with the zap of the century again. Let's go zap of the season.
Zap of the season, because the zap of the century had to be the one that Baron's teammate Low-Eye pulled off for SK last year when he played Sparky against Surgical Goblin.
Yeah. And the fact that I can remember which zap it is by you saying that should tell you all a story.
We called it the most valuable 2 elixirs ever spent.
So between now and Saturday's matches, you got to go back and watch every single CRL Season 1 match. Go find that zap.
Oh, it's SK versus Liquid. Just go ahead and look for that.
Don't tell them.
So here we go, halfway through regulation, and Baron is ahead, but this is what happened last time.
This is one of the ones where I almost wanted to sit back and not say anything, but there's just so many thoughts running through my mind. I can't imagine what Tommy and Baron are thinking. Tommy knows he's not going to get away with that zap again. Baron knows that he can't get caught playing the same defense over and over. Each player looking to the mistakes they made last times.
Well, this faster version of Goblin Giant Sparky not going with the Lightning does give Tommy a lot more in this matchup than if you were playing the Lightning version. Ooh, and that was a big elimination of the Valkyrie.
Yep. Did cost him a 2 elixir lead. But 1 swing from the Hog Rider.
See, Baron was not happy in that moment as well, and now he knows there's going to be a big push coming the opposite way. Goblin Giant gets in front.
Lumberjack there to meet the barb. Skeletons in.
Oh, this is a lot for Baron to deal with.
Oh, man. There's the
Fireball perfectly timed and placed. Can this Sparky last?
Yes,
Stays
it can.
on its feet.
That is going to do it.
Wow.
Baron falls to Tommy.
Lumberjack finishes it off. Tommy, vamos! Does it one more time. What a wild way to close out our day. You see J Monty pumped up out of his mind and Baron dejected. What a tough loss to take.
We've called him the Nicaraguan Ninja time and time again, and that is why he steals games out from underneath you. He steals matches away from you, and that is the reason Tommy is one of the best in the world. The amazing adjustments he makes during the games, just they astound me, Rich.
And that final sequence just went perfectly for Tommy, and you could see before that when the Sparky came down against the Hog Rider of Baron, Baron knew he was in trouble in that moment, and Tommy just loaded up. It was the Lumberjack in the back, the Goblin Giant in front, and then from that point forward, there was no way to keep up and get at that Sparky, and even with 1 HP, the amount of the punch that card packs can just destroy you, and that's what we saw right there. Tommy going all the way to the end, game 3 of 1v1, and securing what is a massive, massive win for Tribe.
And who would have thought they would both be running the same deck back? I think they both expected their opponent to blink. Neither did, and it went the wrong way 2 times in a row for Baron. Despite playing so very well in that first game, and then you saw the second game, I don't think it was a tilt. I just think Tommy had his number.
Yeah, Tommy just played insane and was the hero of the day. The 2 wins to open up King of the Hill.
Wow.
2 wins to close 1v1. Let's head down to the floor and hear from our winner, Tommy.
It was a super close match, but Tommy pulls it out for Tribe Gaming. You did incredible in King of the Hill. You cleaned it up for your team in the 1v1, but let's take it all the way back to that first match of King of the Hill. Playing against Trainer Chris, you did something a little unexpected. You dropped that Mega Knight right on the river. Talk me through it.
¿Por qué contra Trainer Chris en el King of the Hill tiraste el Mega Knight en el puente?
Básicamente para baitear, para hacer que no me atacase él, porque si él me llegase a atacar, yo no tenía nada en ese momento. Simplemente tenía Tornado, Mega Knight y Rayo y Barbarril, si no recuerdo mal. Entonces preferí mucho más tirar el Mega Knight en puente para así baitear ese ataque, o sea, para que no me atacase.
He basically said that he threw the Mega Knight in the river because his cycle was so bad in the hand, and he wanted to stop the attack that was coming from Trainer Chris, so he went with the Mega Knight to fix his cycle.
Well, you had a great run through King of the Hill after that, but after a couple matches, you finally fell to Baron. What happened against him in King of the Hill?
Que después de unos partidos fallaste contra Berin. ¿Qué pasó en ese game?
Básicamente jugué mal. Sinceramente yo pienso personalmente que jugué mal esa partida al final, pero simplemente él lo jugó muy bien y yo creo que esos errores que cometí hay que arreglarlos.
He said that in his part he played really bad, especially at the end, and that he feels that those mistakes he needs to fix them for the next match.
Wow, well, if you thought you played bad, you certainly had the opportunity to redeem yourself, and you did because you went up against Baron then in the 1v1. What were you thinking about finding out that he was your 1v1 opponent after he just took you out in King of the Hill?
¿Cómo te sentiste al saber que Berin era tu oponente en el 1v1 después de que te había ganado en el King of the Hill?
Sinceramente tranquilo. Más que nada en estos partidos siempre hay que guardar la calma y creo que es algo muy fundamental para cualquier partido, sea el rival que sea. No importa el rival, simplemente focus y no estar nervioso en ningún momento.
He said that he was chilling, that he needed to stay calm, that he knew that in this kind of matches the most important thing is to stay calm, and because that could give you the point to win the game.
Well, you stayed calm, you kept your head in the game there, and one of the things you do, aside from keeping your own head in the game, is you get inside your opponent's head. You are keeping track of the cards in hand, you're keeping track of what they play. How do you do it?
¿Cómo hiciste para meterte dentro de la cabeza de tu oponente, de Berin, y si mantenías el ciclo de las cartas, y si tenías el matchup, etcétera?
A ver, eso para los jugadores profesionales es algo obvio, pero no sé, me refiero a los posicionamientos de los Larrys y el infierno y toda la cuestión. Entonces, en verdad, yo no me metí en la cabeza de nadie, simplemente pensé en lo que todo el mundo hace y digo, voy a ver si me sale. Y me salió.
He said that he didn't mess with his opponent's head. He just thought about his own play, like doing, especially sapping the Larrys and Larrys or the Skeletons and playing his own game.
All right, well, last question for you. Maybe it was just by happenstance that you got in your opponent's head, but that deck you played at the end, talk to me about the construction, why you chose to go with that for your EQ.
¿Por qué el último deck que jugaste? ¿Por qué te gusta ese deck y la construcción del deck? Que la expliques un poco.
Básicamente el mazo se consiste en el Chispitas Gigante Goblin, como todos pudieron ver. Para mí la win condition de ese mazo es el Chispitas más que el Gigante. Y pues prefiero ese mazo más que nada por los príncipes y los pecas. Ya que se están jugando muchísimo, es verdad que también se está jugando mucho carnera, pero prefiero quitarme el príncipe y el peca, que me puede dar más problema con el otro deck, entonces prefiero meterle guardias, leñador, sap, por ahí, todo eso.
He says that it's mainly a Sparky and Giant Goblin deck, but the difference in the other one, the win condition is a Sparky. And he prefers this version because it's a faster cycle and has guards, and there's a lot of P.E.K.K.A. and Princess in the meta. So this goes well against all those decks.
Oh, we saw it go well for you here. You definitely got those shots on the tower, and congratulations, Tommy. You took it home for Tribe Gaming today. So let's send it on up to the casters to wrap up this day.
Thanks, Rachel. And Tommy, as humble in victory as he is in defeat, and that's part of what makes him great.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tommy as a player. I love hearing his interviews, his insight, and honestly, here behind the scenes, he's just as nice and as professional off camera as he is on those towers.
And continues to be unpredictable, be dangerous, and play so fantastically. And this was a tough day for our 2 and 5 teams. All of them fall down to 2 and 6.
Yeah, Team Liquid takes out Energy 2-1. Fnatic takes down Dignitas 2-1. And as you just saw, Tribe Gaming edges out Misfits 2-1.
A rough result for all 3 of those squads, although we've been told by the booth that no one is officially eliminated yet. And a big part of that is about how bunched up everyone is in the middle of our standings.
Complexity is the only team with a unique record in first place at 7-1. They just need one more win to clinch a playoff position. The next 3 teams, 2, 3, and 4, Fnatic, SK Gaming, and Pain Gaming, all at 5 and 3. The next 5 teams are at 4 and 4. Team Queso leading the pack, followed by Tribe Gaming, Immortals, Team Liquid, and Cream Esports. And as we talked about just a moment ago, the bottom of the charts, 2 and 6. We've got Misfits, Energy, and Dignitas. 8 wins to get to playoffs. No one eliminated just quite yet.
So each team now with just 3 matches remaining to decide who will get into that top 6 for our playoffs and fight for a shot at going to Xi'an, China. And don't miss any single moment of it. Join us Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. over on the East. We're going to be here 3 days a week, bringing great Clash Royale West action to you. And of course, like, follow, subscribe, share, ring that bell, tell people. That's Andrew Guy. I'm Rich Slayton. We all care about you so much.
And remember, your toes are older than your teeth.
Whoa, what?